So we are live, episode number 7 of Lou Pickney Plays Fire Pro Wrestling World. Worked on a few different arena/ring designs earlier in the day. Trying some of those out here tonight, including the opener. This one has been more a matter of the arena itself, Arena Mexico, trying a darker floor, a little bit different approach as far as the advertising goes in those large board areas there around ringside. I'm going to be El Samurai in an elimination match against Koji Kanemoto, Barbaro Cavernario, Teton, Mysterio Jr., Niebla Roja, Templario, and Drago. Help my controller's plugged in. There we go. And it stooges me out again, as usual. Alright, so episode number 7, match number 1. It'll be me playing as El Samurai against Koji Kanemoto, Barbaro Cavernario, Teton, Mysterio Jr., Niebla Roja, Templario, and Drago. Referee Terracino. Venue, Arena Mexico, and the ring, the Tudor's Biscuit World themed ring. As usual, these matches, no time limit, no countouts, no disqualifications. You can see I've added some of the board advertising there. Looked online for some of the largest companies in Mexico as far as size and financial power goes, and so I learned a bit, educational. So I try to incorporate some of those into the side paneling here. Granted, the ring itself is Tudor's Biscuit World, which is a regional restaurant in West Virginia, but nevertheless, the rest of it fits as far as the Arena Mexico field goes. Take a note in chat playing as El Samurai. Mysterio over there. Teton. El Samurai throws Templario off the ropes. Collide, but nothing. Tried to slide under, but mistimed it. I felt a sneeze coming on. Nobody home for the plunge inside the ring from that ramp. And a triple beatdown of Drago by El Samurai, Roja, and Templario. Mysterio with a bulldog on Templario. Cavernario taken down. Low blow by El Samurai on the caveman. Koji Kanemoto rolled up by Drago, but only a 1 count. A low blow for Mysterio Jr. El Samurai. Mysterio slides into the attempted tilt-a-whirl. Connects with a Dragon Screw leg whip. So Drago and Templario exchanging shots there over that right side. There's a tilt-a-whirl by El Samurai and Mysterio. Now going for the Kimura. Little wrist lock, broken up by Koji Kanemoto off the top rope. Niebla Roja, flying body press. And the Cavernario, a 2 count. Just past the 5-minute mark of the match. Running low kick there by Teton and Kanemoto. Templario. Sending Teton over to the corner. El Samurai getting to the mix. The El Samurai. In with Teton for an assisted avalanche suplex, that top rope superplex. Long way to the bottom there for the caveman, Cavernario. There's the Piranha attempt. El Samurai 2.9, near fall. And our first elimination of the match. It's now Templario on the top rope. Teton. With Avalanche Frankensteiner. Which one is he counting here? Oh, he's counting the Kanemoto Cavernario pin attempt. Not mine. Drago reverses on El Samurai. Cavernario just flying to this right corner. El Samurai puts Cavernario on the top rope, but the caveman reverses with a powerbomb off the top rope. Pin attempt by Drago, only a 1 count. Niebla Roja takes down Samurai. Kanemoto himself suplexed by Templario. Mysterio with a Rana on Templario. What's going over his right side? It's a murky situation there with Teton, Drago, and Cavernario. Cavernario rolls through. No ref to count. There's Drago teaming at least for the moment with Teton against the caveman. Tilt-a-whirl. Tilt-a-whirl by El Samurai. Koji Kanemoto. Over by Roja. Here the applause of the crowd going louder. This elimination match. This first match of the night for episode number 7 of the New Plays Fire Pro. Half Boston Crab on Mysterio and Templario. Drago got himself reversed. Do a backdrop by El Samurai. Roja with a powerbomb pinning combination. Cavernario, and the caveman is out. Barbaro Cavernario, the first eliminated in this match. Tilt-a-whirl on Drago, and then Roja with a drop kick for El Samurai. Drop kick off the top rope by Koji Kanemoto on Templario. Niebla Roja is busted open. You can see the blood. DDT by Drago off the top rope. It's Teton flying body press on Mysterio. 2 only. 1 count from Kanemoto. And there Templario. Mysterio's going to go top rope. Springboard on Mysterio. Shades of Sabu with that move. There's no referee to count, had to break it up. Hit by Teton on Drago, but out for a 3 count. Backdrop. Roja gets backdropped. And a low blow by El Samurai. Teton and Kanemoto. Double team to kick Mysterio. Roja. With a powerbomb pinning. 1-2 combination. 2.9 on Drago, who barely escapes. Kanemoto rolls out of the way. Wisely, I might add. Kick connects from Teton and Kanemoto. Top rope. Corkscrew. It's Drago with Roja. Niebla Roja kicks out at 2. 2 count. Near falls all over the place. There's a Rana. Terracino slow to get over there. Not even more than a 1 count. The referee in a match like this has to do a lot. 2.9 a near fall on Drago. Templario, Rana. 2 count only. El Samurai looks like double wrist lock. Kimura on Rey Mysterio Jr. It's Teton with a Rana on Kanemoto. 2 only. Double drop kick. Templario, Mysterio, and El Samurai. Back elbow by Kanemoto on Mysterio. Sets up Mysterio for that move by El Samurai. Now we got a pin hit by Teton. And Roja broken up on 2 count. Sliced bread. Meanwhile, the Rana, El Samurai on Mysterio. 2 only. Ray nearly eliminated. Another pin attempt. Drago at it 2. Mysterio. 2 count only on Kanemoto. Templario, top rope. El Samurai, with an elbow to the back of the head of Drago, knocks him out of the way, so Templario misses on his top rope move attempt. Reversal by Mysterio sends Roja into the corner, backflip, he lost Templario to the floor. And a tope on Hilo does not connect by El Samurai. Close, but not quite. Kind of a dangerous move, like a dive to the outside. You're more than just close. Like an on target. You see how the floor is darker out there as well. Mysterio moonsault. And Teton. 2.9. Outside the ring, suplex on the floor by El Samurai on Templario. Roja drops Drago with an elbow. Off the ropes. Niebla Roja. Flying head scissors. Drago. Canadian Destroyer. Niebla Roja. El Samurai tries to steal a pin. And 3 counts. On that Tudor's Biscuit Roll logo. El Samurai pins Niebla Roja. Roja is out of this match. Drago trying to hit the ropes, collided with Roja as he was trying to leave the ring. X Factor on Teton by Mysterio. And it's Kanemoto suplexing Templario into the ring off the apron. 6 remain in this match. Snap suplex by Teton on Rey Mysterio Jr. Kanemoto kicks El Samurai in the head, covered by Templario on Drago. Yell at that crowd on a 2.9. Near fall. Vertical suplex by Drago that sends Templario to the floor. Poor decision there by El Samurai. Went for a dive to the outside. Being delayed trying to do so initially. Michinoku driver. Kanemoto. We passed the 20-minute mark of the match. So roll through by Mysterio. Kanemoto. Throwing it by El Samurai with an elbow at 2. Strike exchange. Templario. And Teton. We got a submission. This arena is not set up with the bell that rings on elimination. Should have set it that way ahead of time, but didn't think of it. Mysterio eliminated. You'll cut your Murray. That stolen signature maneuver. Kanemoto hits it on Teton. Kanemoto off the top rope with a moonsault. Teton is eliminated. We're down to 4. Koji Kanemoto, Drago, Templario, he's in the purple, and me playing as El Samurai in the black. The black mask. Kanemoto moves Templario out of the ring. Takes down Drago off the top rope. El Samurai moves Drago out of the way. As Kanemoto crashes down. Now pin attempt by Templario on Drago, but only at 2 counts. The right corner. Oops. Strike exchange. El Samurai and Drago. Well, it's Kanemoto and Templario. Kanemoto said, bring it on. Dragon suplex for the bridge. By Kanemoto on Templario, and it's a pinfall. Templario has been eliminated by Koji Kanemoto. We're down to 3. Drago in the green. Koji Kanemoto in the black trunks, and the me playing as El Samurai in the black outfit with the black and yellow and other colors mask. You see, blood has been shed in this match. We still have 3 competitors remaining. Starting with 8. And a tombstone pile driver. Kanemoto, a tombstone pile driver on Drago. Going with an arm drag to get away, at least momentarily. Canadian Destroyer on Kanemoto. By Drago. Drago rolls up Kanemoto. 2 count. Off the ropes. Drago with a drop kick. A drop kick that stops Kanemoto right in his tracks. Drago top rope with that corkscrew. Kanemoto out of the way. Now Kanemoto going top rope. Moonsault, but it misses as well as Drago gets up. Kanemoto is midair. A wheelbarrow drop by Drago. El Samurai watching here in this left corner. Another Canadian Destroyer. Drago. Another pin attempt by Drago. Kanemoto. 2 counts. You get applause for the crowd. Hey, Mr. Sacco. Yeah, things here are good. How about for you? I'm actually playing and talking at the same time. A game like this, where the timing is so precise, you kind of have to be careful about that. Look at that big slam there Kanemoto with a power on Drago. Kick to the back. And Destino. Drago with a Destino. And Koji Kanemoto with a thrust kick by Drago. Kanemoto says Drago's done. We'll see. Kanemoto off the ropes. There's a Rana. Oh, Samurai breaks into the count with an elbow at 2. Yeah, I stopped there for a while because Fire Promoter kind of ran its course for me. It's taking too long to do one individual playthrough on it. Drago going top rope. Crashes to the mat. I roll Kanemoto out of the way with El Samurai. I went back to just simming matches for a while and not doing anything with the live stream, but the NFL draft is in the rearview mirror for this year. I've got some free time. We'll try this out a bit more. Elbow, Kanemoto. Kanemoto then dropped with an elbow from El Samurai. Drago and Kanemoto were there on that Tudor's Biscuit Roll logo. It's a quick roll up by Drago and Kanemoto. So cheers the crowd. El Samurai will play into that. Saito suplex by Koji Kanemoto on Drago. Top rope. Again. El Samurai rolls Drago out of the ring. There's a roll up. Kanemoto. Look at that, a ton of DLC. I've got all of it. So, there's more arenas and venues and all the rest.
30 minutes gone.
Past the 30-minute mark of the match. Michinoku driver. And a quick roll up with Rana. Flying reverse victory roll by El Samurai, but broken up by Drago. DDT by Drago and Koji Kanemoto. Kanemoto feeling confident. El Samurai off the mark with his strikes. There's an ankle lock and a submission by Drago. Oh, they had custom championships. Nice. I haven't messed with that much at all since they came out with that. Yeah, I had a match I played in the other night. It's Beat Precinct. German suplex by El Samurai and Koji Kanemoto. 2 only. I was glad to see him add some more of the Stardom content. Not to mention the all the stuff they've added for individual move and part creation. And that's not really my strong suit, but there are people out there who I know are already starting to make some really impressive creator wrestlers with it. There's a Rana, El Samurai, Kanemoto, 2 only. But essentially, this is the same floor as the vanilla version of Arena Mexico, but I just, within paint.net, made it a little darker. Give better contrast for the most part with it. But then else is a slightly different look from the same place. El Samurai throws Kanemoto on the ramp. And Senton on Kanemoto on the ramp. A second by El Samurai. A strange way to be thrown into the ropes. Yeah, the DLC can add it price-wise. That is one negative. Reversal by El Samurai. Tilt-a-roll backbreaker by El Samurai. And a low blow on Kanemoto. And a senton. Elbow on target. Half Boston Crab by El Samurai. Kanemoto stuck in the middle of the ring. There are no rope breaks in this match. But thanks. Reversal there by El Samurai. Oh my goodness, 2K20, what a disaster. Just an all-time. And I know it was tough. The developers were in a really tough bind because of what they couldn't use from the previous year, but that series has become so stale. I mean, I guess if you can get the public keep paying $50, $60 a pop every year, plus double and triple dipping every year. Just got so old. And that series, I felt, got progressively worse. German suplex with a bridge by El Samurai. I enjoyed this series at times, even like as recently as the CM Punk cover. I had a lot of fun with that one. On the PS3. But since then, I've not enjoyed the limited amount of play. Kopei-Kon Hilo to the outside. El Samurai and Koji Kanemoto. Dragon Screw, but El Samurai right back up. At least for a small package, not a Falls Count Anywhere match. Yeah, by comparison, 2K15, I mean, it's just, it never got fixed either. You know, just, oh. If they could just take the engine from SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain, and somehow get that in a modern day game, I'd take my money at that point. The WWE product in general, it's not for me anymore. It hasn't been for a long time. I can't, it's gotten worse and worse too, and the whole pandemic hasn't helped things either. That awful, what Vince McMahon thinks of his comedy, and this, billion-dollar company with an audience of one. And we got a submission. Nakamura gets a submission. More than 39 minutes into the match. El Samurai gets the victory, a submission by Kanemoto. What a war. Now, 2K14, was that the one with Punk, or was that the year after the one with Punk? It starts to run together for me after a while. It's a good opener, and El Samurai gets the win with the chicken wing arm lock. Was it the Black Wednesday firings? Was that something with for the developers, or something with WWE letting people go, or something else? We're talking about the DLC. I use one of the newer venues. Okay, I think Punk was on the cover of the one from 2K13, I think it's 2K14. I rented that one. That had the 30 years WrestleMania part was fun. I mean, it's kind of frustrating how they seem to have to blur like half of the logos in there, but it was still fun to play. But yeah, it felt like I would get the, or rent the new version of 2K whenever the price became reasonable, or I could pick it up at Redbox or whatever, and it just... And much like the current day WWE product, it couldn't keep my interest. What's frustrating to me is I know how much talent is under contract there in WWE. They've got all these amazing people. But this obsession by Vince McMahon and the people that run that company of the brand being the only star, they're still acting like they have a monopoly on the market. But I got some news for them. Go look at the absolute state of the male 12 to 34. Young end age group stuff in the demos. They flustered thinking about it just because it's just amazing to see it happen. And it's just this plummet. And that's the base. And it's you're 13 to, or you're trying again, 12 to 34. Go ahead 6 years from now. And that's the core part of that big money demo, the person's 18 to 49. Oh yeah, all the releases. It felt like typical WWE being petty. That they wait and wait, people sign their contracts. Meanwhile, now, in fairness, I've got to question the judgment of some of these wrestlers. With these contracts, apparently WWE can just cut you at will, but you're there and you're there for life if they can help it. The secret freezing clause, where if you get hurt because of somebody being negligent in their ring, you're the one who gets punished for it, if they want to, and they don't even have to tell you. How was that hold up in court? I mean, I know that, the wrestlers are terrified of pissing off Vince McMahon, but come on. Anyway, here or there. Yeah, exactly. When they know they can't go to AEW immediately or jump, make an impact elsewhere, that's when they do it. But I mean, it's just I wouldn't expect anything less from a company run by Vince McMahon. It's just the guy is, I don't know, not someone I would ever want to work for. All right, so we're gonna use the I'm not sure the pronunciation of the transport outdoor ring, the Sakai, or the Nashville SC themed ring. The amazing thing with Nashville SC, I was doing play-by-play for them 3 years ago, like 2017, not that long ago, and they, a few months back, finally debuted in MLS, top level for soccer, with the rest of the world calls football in the U.S. Great organization. Got one home game, and then the pandemic hit. So, at least we got the first one in. Oh, AEW by far. There's an almost polar opposite difference between what I know about Vince McMahon and what I know about Tony Khan. Tony Khan's about as close as you ever get to somebody like me running a company. He's been reading The Observer for years. He knows business. He knows his stats, knows his numbers, knows what hasn't worked in the past. And, it can be difficult trying to deal with wrestlers and get them to do what you want, but they've managed to keep a lot of things in-house, keep very quiet. The non-disclosure agreements they have must be great. But I'm a big AEW fan. I want to see them succeed. But challenging times for everybody right now. Yeah, the Sammy Guevara taking that bump off the golf cart with Matt Hardy and Kenny Omega. That was one of those memorable moments when eventually this all ends as far as the lockdown, pandemic, quarantine, whatever. And that's like a visual that will stand out, like the Kevin Nash lawn dart with Rey Mysterio to the side of the trailer, like the summer '96 when they had the Olympics in Atlanta, so WCW went down several weeks in Florida. That was almost 24 years ago. I remember that vividly. It's the oh wow moments, the things that really stand out. They've all been flattened by WWE intentionally because they don't want any emotional reactions. They don't want any true organic reactions. They want you to cheer when they want you to cheer only, and only for the people they want you to cheer for. If somebody gets over too much, instead of saying, hey, our creative was so good that this bit character grew into a larger force, you do the opposite. You just try and crush the person because they weren't supposed to get there. And it's frustrating to me because I hear people talk about WWE pros and cons, they leave that part of it out. How can you leave that out? That's as much of the problem as anything. That's why the promos are the way they are. Yeah, look at Lance Archer coming in. Great point there, Mr. Sacco, as far as with AEW. Lance Archer, who had I'm sure at first like a negative with Davey Boy Smith Jr., Harry Smith leaving New Japan, but giving that huge opportunity to Archer to show what he can do on the singles side. Had a great one in the G1. I saw him wrestle a couple times in person. Most recently at the New Japan show in Nashville against Yuji Nagata. But having Jake Roberts with him has been an ideal pairing. Because, Jake can't do anything in the ring physically, obviously, but he can sure talk still. And he was the right person to put with Archer. In my opinion, it has worked out very well to this point. And I mention this from time to time, but just if anybody's watching for the first time. I know it says Ricky Steamboat here in AEW. Ricky Steamboat's not in AEW. But he's there because when I had to set things up for the fire promoter mode, that's what I had on this stream initially when I was doing the live streaming on Twitch. I had to have guys to categories where they didn't belong so I could get them into the game, because as much fun as this game is to play and to sim, the user interface is so frustrating. And it didn't need to be like this. That's supposed to be the easy part. It's like, that has been a frustration. But that's all with the grand scheme of things, a minor complaint about this game that's been so much fun to play. I'm a Disco Inferno. Oh, well, in fairness to Connor from the Ascension, those guys were never given a chance. They were presented as if they were, knockoffs of the Road Warriors, which is kind of how they looked once you put it in that frame. And then they wasted all that time in NXT, had them as the champs there for nearly a year. And this is the thing that WWE fans have unfortunately had to learn to accept. The main roster is where beloved NXT acts go to die. I don't say that lightly. That's the absolute truth. I mean, I think back to NXT Dallas, WrestleMania 32 weekend. I was there in person. The first ever appearance in NXT at Shinsuke Nakamura. Amazing match with Sami Zayn. The atmosphere was great. You look back at that show and all the acts that were on that night, and just how one after another were either intentionally or unintentionally just botched, ruined, underutilized. For a company that spends so much money, millions of dollars on its developmental. Maybe like if you had an NFL general manager or a general manager with a feeder squad, like a Major League Baseball or a soccer club that has clubs below it, and that person just didn't watch that at all to see what was going on down there in developmental ever. That would mean even the worst of the NFL GMs would never do that. Steamboat compared to this era. Ooh, let me think about that. I mean, Steamboat was ahead of his time in a lot of ways. Back in 1980s WWF can be nice to reminisce on with the memorable angles and the personalities and all that, but some of the matches, the quality does not hold up. But with Steamboat, you got guys like Steamboat or Randy Savage, Hart Foundation, especially Brett, Dynamite Kid, Davey Boy. And you've got like Nikolai Volkov sitting there in a headlock boring the crowd for 3 minutes. But if I compare to somebody today, it's tough offhand because he was like that pure baby face. I mean, for a guy whose name was Richard Blood, it's like that's the ultimate heel name to have. But Steamboat, from all indications, he's a great guy as well. It's crazy business. Yeah, the XFL. Although I tell you, that was an idea that I thought was going to actually work this time around. Vince wasn't doing anything with it. He's letting Oliver Luck run it. Now, the aftermath and, money that's paid or not paid. You got to realize Vince McMahon is used to operating in this little weird space because sports doesn't want to touch him because it's not a true sport. It's entertainment. It's, a performance art, depending on what your promotion and what your outlook is. And entertainment doesn't want to normally touch pro wrestling because it's seen as too lowbrow. I mean, because of The Rock or John Cena, you might get a mention on the E, whatever that. My last girlfriend loved watching the E News or whatever at 6:30, just absolute dribble. Wouldn't it be like maybe The Rock could be on there or something? So at least it's some positive. It's not just making fun of pro wrestling. Yeah, Savage vs. Steamboat WrestleMania 3. I think they're going to be replaying at least some of the key matches from WrestleMania 3 on maybe FS1 sometime this week. I've done enough of these now where I might start running into guys I'm repeating, so I'll try not to repeat too many. I've got a better Ricky Morton than that. Ricky Morton, the red, with the pink and white trim. Well, the essential worker thing, I mean, I don't want to get political on this. I lived in Florida for 5 years. I worked in television news there at WTSP. I was a morning news producer. Worked in radio later there too. And politics there, just like politics in most places, it's got its shady side. But Florida has its own unique elements. And I can only imagine what kind of deal was struck to allow pro wrestling, especially WWE in particular, to be classified as essential. I mean, it's essential to WWE that they provide programming so they don't lose their contract with Fox. I can see that. But as far as an essential service, it shows what a farce it can be when the money comes into play. And you've got somebody that's allegedly unscrupulous like Vince McMahon or Dana White in UFC trying to get, allegedly I've heard that journalists covering the show last night, Saturday night, were asked to sign non-disparagement paperwork. I mean, I've been covering sports since the early 90s, okay? I've been doing this a long time. From high school level to the NFL to the NBA. Not once did anybody come remotely close to anything like that. But I know UFC is also used to having its own special space as well. But You got sportscasters coast to coast that are dying for something fresh to talk about. You know, that's not directly pandemic related, but with this, it's almost like a news story as well. Drudge Report has something about UFC, you know, telling its fighters not to complain about it either. But ultimately, there are no easy answers, you know. Oh, thanks for the hosting, Mr. Suck. I appreciate it. I don't think I've had Sid in the game yet. My Nashville SC ring is dark blue, so I think his teal will work out. I could just put him in black if I had to. That kind of limits my opportunities for other wrestlers. We'll check one thing real quick. I was going to use Steve Austin, and I couldn't remember if I had used him. Nope, had Austin Idol, but not Steve Austin. And I realize it's not 2017 anymore either, but again, that's when I got the game, was summer 2017. That's what I put at the time. That's what I just kept there. Of course, you got guys now that are no longer with the company. Guys like Heath, Slater, in the middle of a pandemic, giving us walking papers. I mean, it's frustrating to me because I know there are people in that company that I've met before that I know to one degree or another that are talented. They're smart people that, if given the opportunity, can do some great things. You know, for many of them, their dream was to work for WWF or WWE. And what they wanted as a kid isn't there anymore because it's an entirely different product in a lot of ways. Unfortunately, in a lot of ways for the worse. Yeah, you know, Sid, he's I would never want to book him for a modern event. Hang on one second. I think it's the cough button here. I've heard a couple of stories about Sid coming up with some less than plausible explanations about having to miss gigs. I'm going to like book him as a surprise or something. If he gets there and he works the show, great. If not, then you can promise that you couldn't deliver. With Alex Shelley. I'll use a real Nakanishi when I have one in here. I don't think I've got him. Some of these guys from the New Japan downloadable content, there are individual creators out there that are able to do a lot better renderings of a lot of them as far as their moveset and actually having different outfits that not just one or two. That's one thing I would point this out. You mentioned Stardom. I don't know how much money I paid for this. Could you throw me a bone with an extra outfit or two? I mean, this is premium, this is paying extra for it. And it's not like you have to, actually produce the material itself. It's a picture, it's a skin. And to not have that on there, granted, there are ways to get around it, but again, that's the frustration of the user interface issue that's plugged this game from the beginning. And I know they had to get, and look, I'm not trying to be too hard on the developers. They took this wonderful series I love, and they came up with something even better. I don't have to worry about transferring, 500 wrestlers max per card over to my PS2 or PS3. Do it on my computer here. It's been quite wonderful. The point being, I mean, come on, this is you want people to pay extra for this. You give us, beat Priestley with a blue outfit or something, or whatever. Just differentiation. Anyway, yeah, Softball Sid, West Memphis, Arkansas. Although I've never seen video of Sid actually playing softball. I'm sure it's out there, but I've looked online, and I mean, look, I spent years as a news producer. When you work as a news producer, you learn ways to find things. And even my normal tricks, if it's out there, it's well hidden. But I know he plays. It's not like it's a make-believe weekend softball career. What was wild though was summer of '94. Yeah, after the near fatal incident with Arn Anderson and WCW, he was gone from there. He'd already had issues with WWF, so he wasn't going back there right away. And so Sid Vicious shows up at the USWA. And that's so I got to see him in person for these in the dying days of the USWA there in 1994. And but Sid, at least for the first couple of months, you could tell a distinct difference in that gate at the house. And people were showing up to see him. And then after a while, kind of tapered back down. And then by then he was ready to move on anyway, so it worked out. But it's I'm sure it's tough for anybody trying to book pro wrestling talent like that. Not just, Sid's kind of the outlier, but I can only imagine the challenges that come into something like that. Yeah, they'll create a story thing. I mean, Oh, okay, yeah, I got you as far as this. Yeah, well, no, this doesn't have the kind of depth like one of the WWE 2K series at its best. One of those that's like with Here Comes the Pain. I played through that I don't know how many times, year after year of game time. But it was like they would find ways to take things I loved about that series, the 2K WWE series, and like make it worse and worse and worse, slowly but surely, year after year. And then when whatever happened with the split from the developer they had before, so they couldn't carry over for 2K20, it should have never been brought to market. And I'm sure they had contractual obligations, they did their best, but I mean, that to me was borderline fraudulent in my estimation. I mean, it's my opinion, but there's obviously a reason not coming out with a 2K21. But I think some of these companies start to get greedy. You get an exclusive license, and exclusive licenses rarely mean good things for the consumer. Sometimes they do, but quite often they don't. To me, that's not far off as well from the old WWE product itself. The whole near monopoly on the domestic market it had for so long. But the problem is WWE is still looking at this, or still approaching it as if they're trying to smash everybody down, make sure nobody gets over too much. And that might have been a cute thing to do before AEW, but now they got a competitor that is, nipping on their heels when they don't get that male demo, that key demo. You look at like the last 4, 5, 6 weeks of Raw, and it's just been a plummet in the male's 12 to 34 demo. And the problem is because the crazy old man in charge of that company isn't going to change things, and isn't going to listen to reason, is going to do what he wants. As long as he's in charge there, things aren't going to change. And anybody to expect otherwise is being foolish. Bill Watts, more than 20 years ago, Bill Watts did an interview talking about his brief time with WWF and how the big problem with Vince McMahon is he won't delegate anything. He's such a control freak. So you get a bunch of yes men because they're afraid to make any sort of decision without checking with the boss. And that's why you get the people telling Vince what he wants to hear on the plane back. And it's frustrating if you put too much thought into it. I mean, it's WWE for the longest time. This is nothing new either. WWE, they'll punish you for paying attention, having a memory that lasts more than a month. So to have anything like AEW in play like this is great, let alone something that has been as wonderfully compelling a product on a regular basis, on a weekly basis, on TNT no less, here in the U.S. And I should probably get an actual next match going. People just yapping here. Oh, I was going to find Nakanishi. They've started to add some of the older Nakanishi matches on New Japan World. There's already new New Japan shows anytime soon going on. I never did get to see Nakanishi wrestle in person. He was here in the U.S. in the 90s with WCW. I think it was Kurosawa is the name he used. But New Japan never brought him over, though. I thought maybe that last tour, right before his retirement, they might, but it didn't happen. We had Jack Brisco in the game. Technical wrestling. Little boxer in there. Having a boxer for those potential flash knockouts has added a different wrinkle to it. Some of these guys I've already used, but somebody can try to use somebody new. Let's see. I don't think I've used Evander Holyfield yet. So we'll give this a try. You're right there, Mr. Sacco. I mean, from 2K from 12 to 13, and then, like I said, 14 was probably the last complete game as far as looks and gameplay. And then I don't know. That was right at the time I really fell off from watching the series. And like about the time WWE got rid of the Talking Smack show. By the end, that was why I was watching SmackDown, so I would know what they were talking about Talking Smack. It was the one place where they weren't scripted. They would actually be like real human beings, talk like real people, not talking that robotic cadence they make them speak so that nobody gets over. And if you get like amazing delivery, They try and flatten that. And in case you were going to be able to get through anyway, they give this absolute nonsense to, regurgitate in this unnatural, stilted way everybody's made to talk. They had to work the same slow, plodding style, paint by numbers, 2-minute rest hold, dive to the outside, they go to commercial. All that, it's just, when you have people and wrestlers that are so talented that can do so much more if they were allowed. But I've been in jobs where I know that things could have been great and they weren't, and things could be changed to be better and they wouldn't be. And I know how frustrating that can be. So I'm sure for people on the other side, knowing what WWE has really squandered over the last 24 months, there's no good reason for this to be the case for WWE, yet that's what's staring in the face. And I think in some ways that Fox contract is going to be something that's going to haunt them for a long time. They may end up regretting that one. As weird as that might sound now. Because when Fox brought in SmackDown and allowed TNT to not be an outlier by bringing in a pro wrestling show, it's one thing for USA to keep WWE, because USA is hurting. That original programming there has not been able to, they haven't had any hits there in a while. Nobody has in a lot of cases. It's tough. It's tough to build a new brand anymore because there's so many options. However many feeds are going right now on Twitch, and however many channels are out there, or YouTube videos, or stuff you already got on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever, VHS tapes. The days of being just 3 or 4 channels and knowing you're going to win a certain number of viewers by default, that's over. But, another problem, though, one of the crutches for WWE was like when they have the split rosters, split brands, merge them back together again when things get bad, the numbers slide. But because there's the whole dynamic with NBC Universal on the USA side and then Fox on the other side with Fox Television, FS1, those are two competing interests. So you can't just start intermingling the two when you've told both sides you're going to keep them separate. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Guys WWE does not want people to get over more than they're slotting. I remember around WrestleMania 33 time when they were talking about Gronk and Stephanie McMahon was getting interviewed somewhere, and they asked her, what about Mojo Rawley? Because in most companies, some of your particular person that's connected with a celebrity, you want to play him up. And Stephanie answered by not saying Rawley's name at all. Like, she went out of her way to avoid saying his name at all. And it's just that, okay, there's a case in point. We'll keep Mojo around because it'll get us Gronk. We're not going to push the guy. Or we'll push him for 3 weeks and then we'll take him off TV for 2 months and we'll stick him on main event. But you already know this by now with WWE. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Because, Vince is not going to let go. As long as he can still keep running it, I do not see him backing away. I think it would kill him to not be able to run WWE. I think, taking that out of his life, he'd go, whoa, what would he do? At least that's my opinion. All right. So with that, here we go. The second match of episode number 7 of Lou Plays Fire Pro. Playing against Disco Inferno. Going up against Barry Windham, Ricky Morton, Sid Vicious, Alex Shelley, Manabu Nakanishi, Jack Brisco, and Evander Holyfield. The referee is Terracino. I was the first, but I'm the switch referee. Referee is Todd Sinclair. The Nashville SC themed ring. Here we go. But yeah, Miz got over there, that Miz versus Daniel Bryan exchange. But people would go in there and they would talk like normal people would, and they started to get over more. And that wasn't what they wanted. The brand is the star. We never wanted another John Cena. Well, congratulations, WWE. You got your wish. Good luck with it. All right. I think about Windham with the yellow kind of blending in with some of the ring. It's not the biggest deal. Now, Jack Brisco is blue, but it's more like it's not the navy blue like Nashville SC has. Alex Shelley dumped to the outside. Nakanishi with Sid Vicious in a sleeper hold. Windham sits in the corner. A low drop kick. Windham takes him down. Ricky Morton suplex on Jack Brisco. Brisco kicks Disco Inferno in the face. Now watch out for Evander Holyfield. There's a boxer in a match like this. Gotta be careful that there's a flash knockout. Suplex by Shelley on Sid. Sid with a power slam, I should say. And Disco Inferno. turning into Windham by Brisco Inferno. Shelley can actually kick to the back of the head of Inferno. Do you know if it's worth it or not? We get to the end of the match. I'll have to think about that. Some of the stuff, the move crafting, I haven't really used at all. Although with that, I don't know what's going to be like grayed out if we don't buy it. That's part of the problem is the unique stuff that's made in the workshop that has some DLC involved. Like that. The most effective that the look can actually list what they've had come out. So, bit by bit. I think a large part of that's going to depend on how much you like New Japan Pro Wrestling, or people that in this game from there that are now in AEW or elsewhere. Just to me, having them in the game has been great. I've really enjoyed that. Although, again, like I mentioned, there are designers out there, individuals, people that shared it on the Steam Workshop, or whatever they call it on the PS4 version. That's a vastly better product than what you pay to download. But the reason you get that is because you get the actual like voices and the faces on there. Long strike exchange between Alex Shelley and Brisco Inferno. Ricky Morton throws Window to the outside. Sid hits the ropes. That's the 5-minute mark of the match. This is an elimination match. No countouts. No disqualifications. No time limit. Pinfall, submission, or knockout. Arm drag by Brisco Inferno on Barry Windham. Spike powerbomb. Alex Shelley. Sid Vicious. Ricky Morton off the top rope with a punch on Jack Brisco. Figure 4 leg lock by Shelley on Nakanishi. Windham body slam on Inferno. Too much to keep up with here. That's a little dancer, why not? It would have been better if I would have had a Brisco Inferno in the heel database get some booze. There's a lot too. Big man Nakanishi with an atomic drop. Barry Windham. Body slam by Ricky Morton. Brisco Inferno. Low blow on Alex Shelley. Evander Holyfield and Jack Brisco. Leg lock there by Inferno. Brisco Inferno looks like a side-looking figure 4. I think that move had an actual name in WCW, like Chart Busting or something. But I don't know if that was it or if that was like a different move. Shelley top rope. Didn't connect with anything. I was trying to roll one of them out of the way. It didn't happen, but sometimes when you get multiple wrestlers in the ring near the corner, you're trying to come up the top rope. The wrestler's direction gets thrown off a bit, like a compass. Yeah, Judy Bagwell. Never a Nakanishi. Brisco Inferno. Chop. Alex Shelley gets backdropped by Sid Vicious and falls headfirst to the floor. Shelley outside the ring. Double out back elbows by Sid Vicious. That Gonzo bomb like power bomb on Nakanishi as Brisco Inferno dances, and it's a 2 count. Ricky Morton into that corner on the left side. Alex Shelley tosses Nakanishi to the outside. Chops. Chops from Windham on Morton there. That's the 10-minute mark of the match. Jawbreaker sourced it from Alex Shelley. And Sid Vicious. Just check out the ride. That backbreaker. Oh, Nakanishi's signature maneuvers, that backbreaker. Jack Brisco takes over Nakanishi. Brisco Inferno. A leg lock until Evander Holyfield came with some punches. Windham again to the outside. Critical. Jack Brisco just got knocked out. 11 minutes into this match, our first elimination. Nakanishi finally breaks that leg lock. Well, part of it, I think, is as far as adding like classic wrestlers, it's the licensing. In New Japan, they can strike a deal with like all the guys they got under like a merchandising contract. They don't do like individual wrestlers. Like, I can only imagine the challenge for a game like Retromania that's coming out soon. Trying to strike those individual deals. but that's, I mean, and of course, from a nostalgia standpoint, I had the original Tuken Red Suiten, or however you pronounce it, in 1995 for the PlayStation 1. Had to go to ridiculous lengths to, like, with an American PS1. They were so stupid. They intentionally just, like, undercut their own sales internationally because the way they count sales, it wouldn't count for them domestically if I bought a Japanese game here in the U.S., even though they might have a game in Japan that never comes out here. The point is, I think you have to open the PS1, have it spinning, switch the disc out, have the whole little plate. It's like a 5-step process to play the game. But it was worth it at the time, especially because it was garbage WWE games, WF at the time. The one good one was WrestleFest, and you had to go to the arcade to play it. I could see him trying some sort of a deal like a Legends deal at some point, but the reason you don't see it that way is just because the expense, I would think, the challenge of it. Look for a Japanese company. But for Japanese wrestlers, that might actually be easier. But complications all the way around, for sure. So the New Japan match was Savage. Are you sure it was New Japan? I know he did some stuff there. I think 99 though. 2.9 on near fall. Like I said, early 90s, so it would have been the later stuff. Really, any Randy Savage going back to about 90, 91. Earlier is going to be good. For the most part. I mean, unless you get into like a terrible opponent. Which happens sometimes. 80s WWF is not a work rate promotion. They made an opportunity for Dynamite Kid and Randy Savage come to like 3 minutes. Come on. It was called the Wrestling Classic, I think it was. Slice spread by Shelley on Evander Holyfield. Sid's on the outside. 2.9 on near fall. 7 wrestlers alive in this match. Only Jack Brisco knocked out there right there on the middle of the ring on that Nashville SC logo with 3 count. And Evander Holyfield's eliminated. Barry Windham on the floor. A suplex on Nakanishi. Now it's Windham and Ricky Morton battling on the floor. Disco Inferno, arm drag on Shelley. Sid, body slam on Disco Inferno. Nice power by Nakanishi on the floor to flip over Barry Windham. Powerbomb. It's a powerbomb. Somehow Shelley had the presence of mind reverse. Shelley went top rope. We've set out of the way and Shelley crashed to the mat. It's Disco Inferno in the orange. Sid in the teal blue. Alex Shelley fell off the rope with the black tights with the yellow hair. Nakanishi the black trunks. Ricky Morton Ciampa outside the ring in the red trunks. And Barry Windham the blonde with the yellow tights and the baseball bat. Baseball to the gut. Ricky Morton outside the ring. No disqualifications. Disco Inferno tries to go involve himself there. Well, the thing with WAF, they wanted to buy Triple H. They were working with him there for a little while, but I mean, you know how that company, WWF, anytime it's been under Vince McMahon, how it's been. If it doesn't fit his narrow vision of wrestling, he really doesn't want it. He'd rather destroy it, even if it's going to hurt his own business in the long term. Yeah, I mean, that's what AEW, they're going to do, I think, what I imagine they think is the best strategically. I know people would love to see him work in New Japan, but really AEW, I think, would have benefited far more by not going that route initially. The whole pandemic thing changes everything, but Morton, the Boston crab on Brisco Inferno. Yeah, it's Jack Brisco, got knocked out. I'd mentioned the other night on here, it was like all but one of the eliminations were KOs. Got Slater all over the place. Morton sends Brisco Inferno for the ride. For a roll-up. Brisco escapes. Nakanishi's out of it. 21 minutes into this match. Reversal by Morton. Back body drop on Barry Windham. Covered by Disco on Windham. Disco steals a pinfall. Barry Windham eliminated from the match. We're down to 5. Yeah, it's funny with wrestling history. I know I can tell you stuff about 20, 30 years ago. It was nothing. It was like from Raw 3 months ago. No way. Because there's no emotional connection to it. I mean, and that's to me, that's how I tend to like. I remember things better when I can have some good, genuine emotion behind it. Nakanishi gets a submission with that backbreaker. The signature maneuver for him gets Alex Shelley to submit. Brisco Inferno with that leg lock. And a submission from Ricky Morton. Back-to-back submissions in short order. German suplex by Nakanishi. He's got to smarten him up. Shelley's already eliminated. Same thing we said for Brisco Inferno was there tormenting an already eliminated Ricky Morton. We're down to 3. Nakanishi in the black tights. Sid Vicious in the teal blue. And Brisco Inferno in the orange pants. Dark side of the ring. Yeah, it's serious. I've got a lot of my DVR. I've got to watch some of those. They've had the first season in particular had some good ones. The new ones have been highly acclaimed as well. And look, the pro wrestling industry has a history of being unsavory. And because it's always fallen in that kind of weird place between sports and entertainment where nobody really covers it seriously. I mean, it's getting away with just things that would seem like impossible for a company to get away with. It seem like abhorrent. Nobody would ever go for it. But pro wrestlers, it's a unique business and it draws in unique people. And that's not a knock on the wrestlers. That's just like, you've got to really want it. If you're willing to drive, 8 hours each way for a $40 payoff or whatever, if you're lucky, or a hot dog and a cup of soda. Pay your dues, kid. Brisco sent off the ropes and collides with Nakanishi. Sid Vicious, Manabu Nakanishi, and Brisco Inferno the final 3. Yeah, I did watch some of that. The first half. Actually, no, I didn't watch all of it. It was tough. I hate it because when Benoit was alive, I loved his. He was my favorites. I used to love the fact I could talk about Starrcade '95, seeing Jushin Liger versus Chris Benoit. I was front row, not front row, I was ringside for it. And the pendulum swing by Nakanishi. So from that to now, I don't even want to think about seeing Benoit in person, The guy killed his own child. I can't get past that. Not to mention his own wife, ultimately himself. And I know that mentally, odds are he was obviously troubled to do what he did. But I can't go back and enjoy. Now, I won't use many Sims on here either, or even matches that I play. I refuse to use Benoit. Yeah, this movie an escape. And that Gonzo bomb style, dangerous power bomb by Sid on Nakanishi. And Nakanishi's eliminated. We're down to 2. Brisco Inferno and Sid Vicious. Yeah, when Eddie died, it was clearly something that deeply bothered him. And I think it was Corpus Christi where they were supposed to run that night, the night that the news came out. Because they held that ridiculous angle about Vince McMahon being dead. Supposedly, just a storyline. Who actually legitimately messed up their stock price for a little while. Fans got work to do, or investors got work to do. A shoot, half Boston Crab by Brisco Inferno on Sid if we approach the 30-minute mark of the match.
30 minutes gone.
With the ring announcer, 30 minutes gone in this match. Brisco Inferno, atomic drop on Sid Vicious. Another arm. Yeah, well, I can understand why WWE wanted nothing to do with any of them at that point, but I couldn't fathom it. I never really heard, this Sunday we had the dark side of the ring interview. I'd never talked before if I had been just the briefest of sound bites. I couldn't fathom. It's just that. Low drop kick by Sid Vicious, or on Sid Vicious by Brisco Inferno. Sid's got the size and power advantage. And a kick by Sid. Brisco Inferno flies over the top rope to the floor. Sid falls to the outside. And a body slam on the floor by Sid. And a low blow by Sid Vicious, a second, back to back. Kicks to the pills by Sid Vicious on Disco Inferno. Body slam on that white mat. Got a whole lot of protection there on the outside. Yeah, Nancy's sister as well. That's just absolute tragedy. That's what I like to say. This particular arena, see this like what's on the screen very prominent now, that light post. I wish there was a way to mod that out. But I've talked to people, and people who know how to mod that a lot better than me, because it just simply can't be done. Just wonder why they put it there to begin with, but at least when you do it with the regular camera view, it looks okay usually. When you try and use any like the free cam modes, forget it. Like down in front, please. I think it's in the way. But yeah, the Montreal Screwjob ones, it's a fascinating topic. We'll be talking about the 97 Survivor Series. I don't know how long. More than 22 years now. I didn't watch it live, but I knew about it that night. I was a college student at that point. I was working 2 jobs just trying to pay the bills and all, you know? But I certainly heard about what happened and then tape trading to get a first-hand view of it later. Body slam. Power slam there by Disco Inferno on Sid. Can he do it? 2 count. Strike exchange. Sid Vicious. Disco Inferno. I've heard that the new Ken Shamrock book is really good. Like a lot more honest about a lot of stuff than you would normally have where somebody is like officially involved in the book and approved of it. And I've heard it makes for a fascinating read. Pages fly by. Collision. Sid looking dazed. Didn't quite connect to that running knee lift. That was a pathetic effort. Don't want to give Sid an opportunity like this. Powerbomb pinfall combination. Sid wins. Well, yeah, that's the whole thing. Bret Hart was wearing a wire because it was they were recording him. And because it's pro wrestling, there are people that were skeptical, that still are skeptical, but from every indication, it played out more or less the way that it's been reported. So a long match there, a good fight by Disco Inferno, but not enough. Your winner, Sid Vicious. Typically with these I've gone through, and before I start the live feed, I'll go into the game and set up the arenas and then like a ring design that matches up with it. So it's not like a blue ring with a blue outside and it all blends together. So not wasting time on here trying to sort stuff around. I was going to try this one early. The Mini Metro themed Tokyo Dome. Mini Metro is a mobile game. Maybe on Steam as well, I'm not sure. Fun game. Let's see. Yeah. Still think it's victory. Yep, back to softball. Heath Slater. That's a real tough one. I don't know what I would have done if I were in Earl Hebner's spot and had to decide. I mean, ultimately, if your boss tells you to do something and it's your job that's on the line, it'd be easy to say, I wouldn't do it. If you say, no, I'm going to refuse or whatever. But look, I've had things I've had to do that I've had bosses tell me I did not want to do, didn't think we should do. But same token, you give someone your word. And swear on your kids, whatever it was that it's been a while since I've seen Beyond the Mat. But, as much as I would like to think that I would have refused to go along with it, I don't know that I would have refused. I would have gone along with it. And I hate to say that, but I would have to make any sort of promise knowing that it was contingent on Vince McMahon not changing his mind. And to that end, that's a tough spot. And there's really no way for Hebner to even smarten up Brett on what had happened. Because if you had given the Iggy to Brett, then Brett could have done, you know, something to make sure that went to a disqualification. They got that schmoz finish. Start legit punching Shawn in the face or something. Worst comes to worst. I found the story about Shawn getting the last second, like MMA style training from Jack Brisco, or excuse me, Jerry Brisco. We just had Jack Brisco in the match before, or Jerry Brisco in the hotel the night before. Just comical to me. Well, you look at compared to WWF then, where the titles actually meant something. Now they've got so many belts in that company. It's kind of like superstars. If everybody's a superstar, then guess what? Nobody's really a superstar, and that's by design. Everybody's a champion. Always have to, you know, participation trophy or whatever. It's, yeah. What bothers me is that it's clearly done by design. There are people inside that have, you know, left the company and said, yes, this is what's happening. This is the way to do it. And then it just gets ignored by people that should be giving it, you know, a stricter look, in my opinion, as far as critical observation goes. Yeah, Vince there at ringside as well. It's just, I mean, that's why it almost looks like it'll be a work, because like, oh yeah, of course, it just happens that he's out there, but that's the way it played out. Yeah, Brett spitting on Vince. Well, he was angry. And to think that WCW had that fall into their lap, and they just wasted that opportunity like nobody's business. That was typical WCW. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's what you've had for the longest time. But it's been a long time since I've known anybody that watches Raw live without commercials, or with the commercials and everything, and enjoys it. I don't know anybody. I've been watching wrestling more than 30 years now. I've got a lot of friends that have known that long, if not longer. And, you know, every one of them is the same. Because it's the audience of one the show is built around. This absolute madman. Was he 40, 73, 74? His birthday is the same as mine. Different year, obviously, but I've got to look it up. I'm curious. Of course, you got to remember, Vince McMahon's mom is still alive. So, yeah, Vince will turn 75 years old on on August 24th. And it's a shame. You look at the talent, the volume of talent, the quality of talent of that roster. And yet they have these shows where it's just like they're almost like out of wrestlers to use, even before the pandemic. You got 3/4 of the people that you hired just sitting in a warehouse in Orlando or whatever, just so other companies can't use them, to try and kill out the competition. And to not deviate from that after it was clear that the market had changed. That's, it's put WWE in a tough spot. And the pandemic didn't help things anyway, because at least when you had fans there live, you could say, well, at least they're here cheering or whatever, and, you know, try and justify or rationalize things. But I mean, they have this initial like little blip up for the novelty of this empty arena show business, but it is worn off quickly. And the younger end demos are just, I mean, WWE's already been hemorrhaging those to begin with, but it's bad. Like, worse than 2 days before Christmas of last year bad, and that was like the low water mark. Or Christmas Eve of 2018 as well. I mean, it's not like it was just a one-off. This has been a trend. It's been trending down, but you hardly ever see it go that quickly. You know, that large of a percentage of your audience for like what is a key demo for the long term. And it's not like 18 to 34 is any better. You know, it's slightly older, but with that, I think AEW actually may have gotten the better of them on the men's side. Maybe not. I don't remember offhand on that part, but another thing though, because of the way Vince McMahon thinks, this predatory nature, He likes to see things, at least my opinion, what I've learned about him, in like a sum-zero way. It's like, if you have something, I should have it. One of it, where there's like X amount of money to be spent on pro wrestling, and I want to get as much of it as I can. As opposed to thinking, the possibilities if you have a better industry and other smaller companies that can actually build stars that can come into your place and then really light up the territory when you need them to. But that's what they're built on doing now, and they're getting what they deserve. Long overdue, in my opinion, as well. Yes, in the catering. How frustrating much it must be, because the travel's the biggest part of the pain of it for a lot of them. You got to get up early, get to the airport, deal with all the security, fans, everything. Everybody wants your picture, your autograph. You try to connect to another flight. People, oh, you're big timing me now. Well, you got 5 minutes to get to the next gate, and that stuff happens all the time. That's part of what you have to deal with as a pro wrestler. Most people have no idea how difficult it is to be a pro wrestler. It's exceptionally difficult. And when you make it in the field and you manage to have a 20-year career, you wake up every day for the rest of your life in pain, to one degree or another. And that's what you get. That's the trade-off. Because pro wrestling is kind of this magical business that captures people's imaginations in ways that are kind of unique. You get people that are that determined to get into it at any and all cost. Oh, it's so sad to see the talent just be wasted. Like I was mentioning before, the whole NXT Dallas over WrestleMania 32 weekend 4 years ago, how great the NXT show was. The revival, you saw what happened to them. American Alpha, they put them on SmackDown, put the belts on them, and then that following Royal Rumble, they were on the show at all. They were the SmackDown Tag Champ, but you already had 2 sets of Tag Champs, 2 sets of, a World Champion, or they don't call it World Champion, they got a Universal Champion, you get the NXT Champion. I mean, come on. And I can appreciate having secondary titles. There is a value to be had in that. But when you have 2 top champions, you really have none. And that is as much of the problem as anything for that company right now. And for as much as they should be just, rolling in cash and just, I'll put Shamrock in here. I've got a better version. Yeah. You know what happened with EC3? As you mentioned there, Mr. Sacco. He worked some house shows with Dean Ambrose. And it was supposed to be EC3 was the babyface and Ambrose the heel. But the fans knew what was going on. That's another thing. It's like as if WWE thinks that social media only exists for them to put out puff pieces and PR as opposed to for people to communicate and say, hey, what this ridiculous company is doing this week. It makes no sense. Why? Because of the crazy old man in charge. Or some variation of that. But you had EC3 out there, and because the fans were booing him or cheering for Ambrose, they blamed EC3. And I mean, what do you say to that? I mean, there's no logic to be made out of that. But that's how out of touch Vince McMahon is, from all indications. You've been surrounding yourself with yes men for decades now, and at some point, it's reached the point where it's and a contempt that Vince clearly has for his audience, and that goes well back before Vince with pro wrestling. Contempt for the fans, calling them marks or whatever. Original Carney term. But it was one thing when Vince had the monopoly, or when his competition was, barely staying financially afloat ECW and WCW with its layers and layers of mismanagement and politics. But there's other options out there now. I got New Japan World. I could right now pull up, dozens of 5-star matches and above. It's the best of the best. In high definition for all the new stuff too, for everything like 2012 on. Well, that's the thing. I mean, I'm sure it's so hard with WWE anymore because they changed their mind on a face or a heel and they go back and forth so that they flatten everybody. But the problem was that they didn't boo EC3 because of EC3. They booed him because they were cheering for Dean Ambrose. They were trying to send a message, and that almost. Granted, these are people sending a message that paid to see WWE in person. So you can imagine the contempt that the brass that WWE has for them. But yet at the same time, you got Vince McMahon and his deep down insecurities that sometimes creep up at bad times and sometimes just cause people opportunities. Problem for EC3 though is that he's not 6'6", 6'5", or whatever. If somebody my height 6'2", I would be like below par for what they're looking for. And get somebody like Billy Gunn or whatever, a dozen chances. You get somebody that's 5'8" or whatever, 2 or 3 weeks, the novelty wears off and there's a new shiny toy, and Vince has the shorter wrestler out there putting over some sloppy tall guy that can't work half a lick, like a 3-minute squash. I think I've used D'Lo Brown with a Nation of Domination look. D'Lo. Well, you really missed the boat with Seth Rollins. He had that knee injury in Ireland against Kane. Kind of a fluke thing. A lot of times the injuries happen on like the simplest of moves, or or I think it was like he was flipping over to a powerbomb, whatever it was. So he was out, and the fans were legitimately wanting to happy to see him back. Excited about it. He'd been gone for a long time. He's this very talented wrestler, and they make him be a heel. And you already know the reason why. I've been saying it here for however many minutes now. And before, but you already knew at the time anyway. If you were paying attention. And that's where, of course, they bring him back as a heel, and he's like, well, I got your fan letters, but I just ripped him up or whatever. So that means sort of organic or real fan enthusiasm about it. That's why they beat people in their hometown. That's why they embarrass people in their hometown, in their home market. And a lot of that still lies, I think, deep within Vince McMahon and his insecurities. Vince will always be this neglected teenage boy in rural North Carolina that wants to get his daddy's attention. His dad's been dead, however many, close to 40 years now. But deep down inside, and it's, again, I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist, but I'm an analyst, and I know what I see. And a lot of his behavior, I think, can be traced back to that. Now, at the same time, you got to mention with Vince McMahon, that guy's got a work ethic that just will not stop. I give him credit for that. I mean, that's the guy who will not stop it. The problem is anymore, when he works on something, it makes it worse. If you ever hear the words or something to the effect of Vince McMahon is personally involved in this storyline or this angle or this, it ends horribly. Like Jason Jordan is Kurt Angle's illegitimate son. I mean, the sad part though was that people were guessing that was going to happen before American Alpha even came to the main roster. I was talking before about American Alpha, that after they got called up, they were the SmackDown Tag Champs, weren't even used at the Royal Rumble. I mean, the pre-show. No shows anymore, like 5 hours long. It was ridiculous. And at that point, you knew that they weren't going to be long for this role as a viable unit. And one time, Chad Gable said title shot on Talking Smack, and well, you know the rest. Jesse Ventura. If somebody like Jesse Ventura were to come along today, he would never put up with the nonsense to begin with there. I mean, trying to have somebody in his ear yelling at him like Vince yells at people. I mean, it's one thing when he was there to the back and forth quibbles with him on WWF Superstars of Wrestling, or Saturday night's main event. But, Jesse having to speak in WWE speak, and please look at my guest at this time. Lazy stuff. They got 30 writers, and they get blamed for stuff, but the problem is they're not writing for you, they're not writing for me, they're not writing for the people that are subscribers to WWE Network, they're not writing for their fans, they're writing for the crazy old man, that audience of one, trying at any cost to make him happy, make him laugh. And I think one of the things I hate the most about Vince as far as characteristics, I mean, I've never met the man, but his awful sense of humor, that's been as much a problem as anything. That ha-ha things that they're never funny. They're never funny. Unless you got something like The Rock that can transcend it, or something that can just, the delivery is so good that they can overcome the awful scripting, or the stupid, theme behind it or whatever. And you can't, the way it's set up now, it's like a car dealership. You got the producer, the agent that's like the go-between, that's, so I get the script. This makes no sense. I want to talk to Vince. Well, Vince is, and they're eating dinner. You gotta wait for Vince to make sure you don't sneeze when you walk in or whatever. And make it harder and harder for people to complain or say, hey, this makes no sense. You're killing my character. But if anybody truly believes that what they're taught in NXT is supposed to make the promos better, that's what helps them get over, either they're naive or they're lying to you. Yeah, if somebody has proof otherwise, bring it up. Show it to me. You know what happens when people go to WWE? Invariably, their promos get worse. Their wrestling gets worse. They're not allowed to do as many things. I think Kevin Kelly made it said it best. I'll get the match going here soon. He said this on a New Japan broadcast. He said, the problem with WWE is that you're told 10 different things by 10 different people, and that's why nobody gets over there. There's probably a lot to that. And Kevin worked there for a long time. I've never worked there, so I would defer to him on that. But I'm grateful that there are other options out there. It's not just WWE. You know, I can watch All Japan. I've had their subscription service for a couple of months. So it's on Kento Miya horror matches. That guy is so awesome. And he never works in the U.S. either, so he's like the, he'd be a nice get for an independent promotion or somebody looking to pop the house as a one-off, you know, whenever the nightmare with the virus ends. But the whole thing, yeah, with Seth, so they had him where the fans were behind him. He had this long rehab. They had this really well done special on the WWE Network about his training and getting into, you know, getting back ready to form and recovering from his knee injury, his operation, surgery to fix it. And they got to make him a heel. Because if he would come out and the fans would have adored him and cheered him, there was a risk he was going to get over beyond his slotting. Because most anymore, there's like the upper mid-level, and that's the ceiling for almost everybody. If they truly wanted Roman Reigns to get over, they know today how to do it. Don't ever believe them. If you hear somebody from WWE say, well, or somebody say that, well, they don't know how to make stars anymore. That's a lie. That is a bald-faced lie. And I'll take that, you know, bet the house on it. It's a lie. And it's all about having control of the talent. I mean, look at Brock Lesnar. I think Lesnar, look back to when Lesnar and Bobby Lashley both left WWE around the same time. After that point, it's like in Mafia terms, they closed the books. No more made guys. Like Cena was already in, Randy Orton was already in, Batista, those guys. But then they closed the door, and after that point, there was like a salary cap thing. There was a lid put on anybody that came up. They were not allowed to get above a certain level. If they really wanted Roman Reigns to get over, go back and listen to his interviews at WrestleMania 35 weekend in New York last year on WFAN Radio. Mike Francesca. I mean, Mike is notoriously, you know, go off the handle disliking pro wrestling. But, you know, he knew that Roman Reigns had played football at Georgia Tech, American football, and so that gave him something to bond about and talk about. And Roman came across so great. When he's allowed to be himself, he's incredibly charismatic. He's someone you want to cheer for. But ultimately, I don't think they really want that. I mean, it's one of two things. Either they don't really want it, and it's just like, here's our, you know, our supposed A guy or top guy that we won't let be a top guy. It's either that or they just really don't know how to make one, and I'm wrong, but there are too many examples of when they want to make somebody, allow somebody to be good, they can. Like when they brought Goldberg back. But you know the difference? Goldberg was able to talk like Goldberg. He wouldn't have to go out there and say, you know, recite awful dialogue with a terrible, like, weird way of speaking that they're instructed to, you know, like, look, Dusty Rhodes didn't get over because he was talking like a robot. Now, some of the stuff was nonsense that he said, but he had that charisma with his delivery, it would get over. And that guy was around Dusty one time at an independent wrestling show in St. Petersburg, Florida, 2003. Kevin Sullivan and a couple other guys in the main event. And it's one of the few times I've been like in a almost like backstage to see what was going on. I've been at wrestling shows in that area, but I try not to get, you know, I don't want to go into the locker room accidentally or something and then have an incident. But it was Dusty, shirtless, holding court, talking, and like everybody around him just listening. Like, wow, that's cool. That's Dusty. But, you know, I'm sure he tried his best to teach people how to get over, you know, say promos the best way they could within this system. But I mean, the easy thing would be like, okay, whenever the time comes for Roman to return, where he feels it's safe, have him come out, start the next angle, and go from there, and let him talk like a real person. He'll get over. But they don't want that, ultimately. I don't think they do. Ice Train. I was using him, I think it was earlier today or maybe yesterday, one of the two, testing out some new rings. Let's use Ice Train. Well, the thing with the rosters, they all become heels versus baby faces. The problem is, what constitutes a baby face anymore in WWE? It's like they make the baby faces look stupid. So much for the booking. And if it weren't for like Wrestling Observer Radio or the Observer newsletter and Dave Meltzer or reading stuff online or seeing stuff on social media clips or whatever, I would be entirely disconnected from this modern WWE product. I saw Drew McIntyre's Drew Galloway after his first run in WWE on the independent scene. He was so great in Evolve. And I've been thrilled that he's had an opportunity to get to the top in whatever constitutes being at the top in WWE now, but even with him, they don't make it easy. But like, if you were to call it the main roster right now, you would want to be a heel. You don't want to be a face. And then you're stuck with a real problem if you're a face. If the crowd ignores you, they don't react. Oh, this guy's not over. Come on, pal. And then off to WWE main event and doing 2-minute jobs you go. If they cheer you too much, that'll freak out people in power, and they'll cut your legs out from under you. And if they boo you, at least they're reacting, but that's not what your goal was anyway. So it's really, there's no way to win. And I can only imagine how frustrating that gets. I've had jobs before where you had someone in power above you that was actively trying to undermine you. More than one occasion, actually. And it's very frustrating, but you do your best to be a professional and work your way through it. But pro wrestling is its own unique thing, and what constitutes normal behavior in most businesses does not necessarily correlate to pro wrestling. Why is it locking up going slow on me here? What's going on with this? We had Ricky Morton in the last match. I'll throw Robert Gibson in here. That's kind of the dumpier end of the two, but I'll go with it. Oh, this is ridiculous. What's going on here? I think I've got a ton of things running. I reset the computer before I started this process like I normally do. Stand by 1 second. I'm going to look at something here. Computer started acting like I'm running low on disk drive space. Which might be possible, but like 7.5 gigs free, so it's low. But it's not like it's right on the precipice, so I'm not going to sit there on a still image for 5 minutes while I go through and try and move files around my computer. That's not the most compelling viewing experience, I wouldn't think. Try this again. That was just... This isn't doing any better. Come on. There we go. And from All Japan Pro Wrestling, The Bodyguard. That's his name, The Bodyguard. .54", 130-pound Willie Pep. Throwback in every sense of the term. This should be interesting. Quite the eclectic mix here with the roster for this particular match. For match number 2 of episode number 7, Heath Slater. It would help if I actually said that as myself. Let's try that again. Heath Slater as me, Ken Shamrock, D'Lo Brown, Jesse Ventura, Ice Train, Robert Gibson, The Bodyguard, and Willie Pep. Referee is Marty Asami. The venue's Tokyo Dome, and is a mini Metro themed ring. Let's hope this loads up faster than it was wanting to having to maneuver on that character select screen. I presume it's going to load at some point. Any day now, come on. It's a rib? So I know the Money in the Bank pay-per-view was last night. Oh, here we go. Hi. This one's a little bit weird as far as like legibility goes. You get too much stuff on the ring mat, and it can be kind of distracting. But I made an exception for this.
Okay, baby. Okay, baby.
Willie Pep with a backdrop on D'Lo Brown. I'll let Robert Gibson handle Ken Shamrock. We'll hang out with Willie Pep.
Okay, baby.
D'Lo Brown beats back the double team. Jesse Ventura now goes for the arm. And D'Lo Brown. Ice Train. Heath Slater into the corner. Willie Pep with a punch in the face on Shamrock. And now a few as well for the Bodyguard. Boston Crab. Ice Train, who got that applied by D'Lo Brown. Crowded in here. I gotta space these guys out a little bit. Well, that's cool. Able to mod your 2K19 you got on the PC, you got on the console, PS4, Xbox One. PC, I'm glad to hear it. Like, this game is so much better on the PC than the PlayStation 4 version. Because the mods, it's just drastically better in a lot of ways. The crowd making some noise here in Tokyo. Back over by Willie, Pep. Slater superplex. Ice Train gets superplexed. By D'Lo Brown, 2 count. Slater punch in the face by Pep. They had to have it be like a year-to-year continuing series. It'd be nice if, like, downloadable content from the last year would be able to be played on the new one. I know there are a number of reasons why that can't and won't happen, but so the business model I found very off-putting, especially when the quality of the game continued to deteriorate, especially for no good reason. Like some consultant, I had to deal with enough consultants. My years as a TV news producer, but change for the sake of change. You'll never hear a consultant tell you everything is okay. As a consultant tells you everything is okay, it's the consultant you do not need. The Bodyguard with a Boston Crab on Shamrock, and now a backbreaker. Pep unloads Robert Gibson. Shamrock's into the outside. Slater breaks up a double stretch by D'Lo Brown on Bodyguard. D'Lo Brown off the top of the moonsault. Across the ring gets a 2 count. Jesse Ventura fires Slater to the corner. Military press and a slam by the Bodyguard on Shamrock, but D'Lo Brown breaks it up. 2-point net, a near fall. Ice Train nearly got pinfall on Robert Gibson. So far, all 8 wrestlers that started the match remain in there. This is an elimination match. No time limit, no count out, no DQ. We have one winner. The applause of the fans. The 3-ring circus at this point. Action all over the place. Hey, what kind of mods do they have for the PC with 2K19? Shamrock is not going to break that hold. No selling those punches and kicks. Slater and Ventura team up for a double close on Ice Train. 2.9, another near fall. Slater tries to cover, and Shamrock is going to kick him away. The armbar. Shamrock with an armbar on the Bodyguard. That's the 10-minute mark of the match. Running shoulder block by Ice Train. That makes sense. But arenas, updated or whatever. Yeah, the attires as well. I never liked the way they did like the whole attire setup. It felt something like a complaint with the downloadable content of this game. You got wrestlers in one outfit. Come on, you're paying extra for this. Like actually, you have to make an outfit and send it to us. It's a skin in a video game. What I really dislike in particular when the series moved over to the PlayStation 4 and the next generation, the Xbox One, I couldn't use MP3s anymore as theme songs. Like I think the last one I had that I really liked was the Punk on the cover for the PS3. There was a Brian Pillman. You had to pay extra to get it, of course. Downloadable content. And whatever his theme song was, it was terrible. It was garbage. So I gave him instead Mind Games by John Lennon. It was great. I can never figure out how to get PlayStation 3 recorded to a computer. I'll have to put that online. I still got it. I still got the game. I still got the PS3. As long as there's not another NCAA football game now, I'm going to have that PS3 to play the last one of those that came out before the fun times ended. So roll through. Like Gibson, a 2-point out of the Bodyguard. Near fall. Double back elbows by the Bodyguard. On Heath Slater. Ankle lock by Shamrock. Robert Gibson escapes another 2.9. Near falls fast and plentiful at this point of the match.
Okay, baby.
Clothesline by Zane. Excuse me, not Zane. Heath Slater. Similar to the colors you typically see with Zane's outfits. Ice Train gets a 2 count on Jesse Ventura. Ankle lock. Shamrock with an ankle lock and a DDT. Slater caught D'Lo Brown for rips the DDT. The Yamaha straw cradle. 2.9. Another 2.9. So many near falls. Past the 15-minute mark of the match.
Okay, baby. 2, 3.
Ice Train pinned by Jesse Ventura. Finally have a first elimination of the match.
2, 3.
And now back to back. Jesse the Body pins Robert Gibson. Strike exchange. Jesse Ventura and the Bodyguards. Peps. One of those punches. There's a boxer. The star of mixed martial arts. Oh, it is the UFC. Of course, pro wrestling. WWF. And now in Impact Wrestling.
Come on.
The Bodyguard has a light tube. Bodyguard swings with that light tube. This is not combat zone wrestling.
Okay, baby.
And the light tube is not part of the map either. Not building a new connection there between that top circle and the red line. Slater rolls Jesse the body to the floor. Pep. Those quick strikes. And this tap out. Submission by the bodyguard by Ken Shamrock. Slater breaks the light tube across the body. Ken Shamrock outside the ring is D'Lo Brown. Slater misses on the plancha. Down to 5. Ventura, Pep, and Shamrock outside the ring. D'Lo Brown. Heath Slater. The public address announcer warning the fans about the brawling at ringside. Long run there for Heath Slater after the throw. D'Lo Brown, heel hook locked in by Shamrock. Ventura breaks it up. Ventura trying to use his size and strength advantage on Pep. There's a dragon suplex on Ventura by Shamrock for a 2.9. The fans erupt. I thought he had him. Armbar. D'Lo Brown, Heath Slater, spike powerbomb on Pep. Ventura the knee drop off the top. On to Ken Shamrock. D'Lo Pep, sit out powerbomb that normally leads to a pin attempt on Pep, but Slater breaking it up for the ref to get there. Shamrock through the punches to the right side of the head of Jesse Ventura. All this time into the match, and actually put in the chat who I was playing guys. Luckily, they kind of ignored me there for a minute.
Okay, baby.
Slater tried to Irish whip Pep, but Jesse Ventura poses over there on the far side. Pep is dazed. Slater with a roll up. Marty Asami was distracted. But despite the delay in getting there, Slater pins Pep. The boxer is out. We're down to 4. Critical. Jesse Ventura submits the ankle lock. Jesse's left lying. Little back elbows from D'Lo Brown. Heath Slater sends Brown to the outside. Slater and Shamrock. 3 men left in this match. D'Lo. You're thinking vertical suplex, but Shamrock broke it up. Shamrock tries a punch on Slater, who blocks it. No blocks for those knee strikes. Pendulum driver-like move there. D'Lo going for that frog splash. There's Slater to roll Shamrock out of the ring. And nobody home at the time. D'Lo Brown arrived at the mat. Backdrop on the floor by Ken Shamrock. Goes over ground and pound. That was a mistake by Slater there, trying to jump to the outside. Shamrock turned that into a run on the floor. D'Lo Brown, pile driver. A pile driver on Shamrock. Moonsault at the top. Slater picks up Shamrock. There's a roll-up by Slater on Shamrock. Slater has pinned Shamrock. We're down to 2. D'Lo Brown and Heath Slater. Slater sends D'Lo Brown to the outside. Not going to do a tope, but a plancha he'll do. And Slater connects on the outside on D'Lo Brown. Oh, Animal Crossing. I played some earlier incarnations of that series. A lot of fun. I've heard the new game is really fun as well. Slater managed to flip through on the attempted suplex, but D'Lo Brown going to try and put the hurt on Slater outside the ring. Slater decides to go ahead and bring D'Lo back in. Drop. That was pathetic. That was much better. Back-to-back missed drop kicks by Slater. Third time not the charm. Try something else. And that time get the block by D'Lo. D'Lo Brown, body slam on Heath Slater. Slater goes D'Lo to the outside, but D'Lo pops right back up. Doom a turn. Well, that's another series I've thought about in a long time. Doom. I get motion sick rather easily, so I can't really handle first-person shooters that well, but they play some Doom back in the day. Little back elbows by D'Lo Brown on Heath Slater. Now a chin lock. Now a Boston Crab applied by Slater to D'Lo Brown. And there are no rope breaks in this match. Running clothesline for past the 30-minute mark of the match. Slater, the cover. What do you know? Heath Slater. They won 30 minutes, just a victory. And then botches whatever that's supposed to be. You do the victory dance there. You're a winner. Heath Slater. So we went more than 15 minutes without an elimination. And then they started to pick up. Ice Train, Robert Gibson, the Bodyguard, Willie Pep, Jesse Ventura, Ken Shamrock, D'Lo Brown, all out. Your winner, Heath Slater. Still have time for one more. But my voice will hold up. Use another of the newer venues. Takafumi City Gym. Got a V8 themed ring to go with it. We'll go with the vintage, younger Tiger Hattori. I might have had Liger in a match, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna look. Okay, I had him in the second match I played in one of these. I'm starting to reach the point though where trying not to repeat somebody is more and more difficult. So what do you think about Animal Crossing so far? Enjoying it? That'll be evil. Presuming nobody's actually been chosen to play in this game as evil thus far. Nope. That'll work. A better version of evil rather than that one. Very chill. Yeah, that ends the match with my experience has been with this series. It's definitely not a intense or high pressure kind of game. But it's fun. You get this social interactive element to it. You got kindness to animals, which is a positive, but it's fun to play. That's really the most important part. There we go. There's the Creator Wrestler that isn't actually a Creator Wrestler. I just took the design from the New Japan DLC folder and moved it over here so I could do a few things with it. Especially for mods. You can't, for whatever reason, when it comes to the pre-made stuff, the mods really don't tend to work. So that's why if I'm doing a more than 8-person, like a Royal Rumble style match. The Black Friday 300 I had was like 300-man Rumble with Aztec Warfare rules. You only really do specific things with the first 8, and the rest of them you get because the mod interface is a little bit unwieldy. I've got guys in here that have different names now in WWE, so, or people that were in WWE with different names that are now on the independent scene. It starts to get tough to remember who's who after a while. Some of them. I'm not sure if I had a match with Ciampa yet. Funny enough, I'm definitely gonna put him in now. I thought this one part. It was a fluke thing, but I was working in Columbus, Ohio in TV at the time as a TV news producer at the station I was employed at the time there. And I was back in Nashville. My sister got married, so I was at her wedding. And just by chance, that last day I was in town, that Sunday before I had to go back for the next day, maybe it was Saturday, whatever it was the Ring of Honor Best in the World 2014. I think it was Michael Elgin and Adam Cole in the main event. Fun show. But I mentioned that show because it was like a 6-man scramble in the opener. And it included Evil under his Watanabe name. And also Tommaso Ciampa, I should say. This is an older make of him, so it's going to have... Although I don't watch very much WWE anything, including NXT, so how his moveset might have differed from then to now, I don't know, but I would think this would be pre-NXT, pre-main roster Ciampa. But don't quote me on that. Actually, I'm going to do something else. Ciampa that looks less like Ciampa. I won't use that one. Go ahead, Jordan Devlin. Why not? Go through some of the randoms from. It's quite the range there. NWA, WCW from 1985 to 1995. Think about how little things have changed as far as the production and presentation of WWE in the past 10 years. Think about how drastic it was from 85, Jim Crockett versus 95, the start of Nitro. Or the natural Butch Reed. I don't think, I'm not sure. Maybe I had Finlay in a match. I'll use him here as well, if I did use him before. I can't get too caught up in that because inevitably I'm going to start running out of guys that haven't been used yet that I actually want to use in a match. I mean, I could put in the likes of Stan Stasiak or Big Bully Busick, Outback Jack. It's funny with Outback Jack, I knew about him. I don't know if I've seen one of his matches. It was like an enhancement match I saw on YouTube or something. Squash match. But he had an action figure. The LJN, the big rubber ones. And that was right before I'd gotten into watching pro wrestling as a kid. So he was long gone by then. It wasn't like now we can just hop online and 15 seconds find out who Outback Jack was. So that this guy I never heard of that has an action figure in WWF. and later you find out he was there for a relatively short run. But within a window where they were deciding on people to put out as action figures. Doing Nailz. Like Tenru. I haven't used Luchasaurus yet. I'll use him here. I switched it. I initially was at level 8 for the computer level. Normally, if I'm playing just for fun, I'll set it at level 8. But I was winning too often at level 8 because it's different, like a 8-man scramble type match. You can just lay back for a while. A little bit complicated to get that kind of nuance in the way the computer is programmed as far as the CPU, but level 9 is not easy. And that's still, I've been winning more than I've been losing, certainly, but especially when it's down to like that last one-on-one matchup, sometimes it's been too much to overcome. But that's a good thing. You know, it would be boring if I won every time. All right, so here we go. To the last match tonight, episode 7. Playing as Evil, facing Tommaso Ciampa, Jordan Devlin, the Natural Butch Reed, Fit Finlay, Nailz. I'm not sure how you pronounce Tenru's first name. Genichiro? You have the esteemed Tenru, and then finally Luchasaurus. Referee Tiger Hattori. The venue, Takafumi City Gym, and the ring, the V8 Green Apron version. We'll see how this looks. Eventually. There we go. There are a lot of options when it comes to modding with this particular board. For as bad as the outdoor, the Sakai, whatever it's pronounced, as bad as that is, this is actually quite good. The standard camera angle doesn't show you as much. But you set from like the Iron Slam 17 view, the lower angle. But you wouldn't want to use it in a match like this anyway, because it just get motion sick or risk doing it the jerking around to the camera the whole time. I think Kevin Dunn was producing it. Evil is a natural butchery to the outside. Evil. Just a Saito suplex type move there on Butch Reed. A body slam by Evil on Reed since the natural to the outside. Nailz whips Finlay into the ropes. Finlay with a knee left for Nailz. You got Tenru in there with Luchasaurus. Kicks there by Tenru. Ciampa going to work on Reed. Nailz beats back a double team. Look at the power of Evil. As in the suplex, not the good and evil. Not that type of evil. Nailz fires Evil into the corner. Evil reverses with an elbow. Side headlock by Finlay. Jordan Devlin fighting back. Trying to get a ref bump on a crescent kick. Nailz tries to send Evil off the ropes. It's Evil colliding with Finlay, and finally Finlay Finishing the job as Nailz bites multiple times on the face of Finlay. Ciampa with a submission hold momentarily there on Nailz. It's a critical. I think Luchasaurus just critical Jordan Devlin, and he did. So more than 5 minutes into this match, our first elimination. Another critical. Who got critical? Was it Luchasaurus? Exactly, you'd think so. Trying to superplex him. A reversal. He's critical, he's still going. Luchasaurus. Shoulders to the midsection of Finlay. It's got to be Luchasaurus as well. Boston Crab applied by Evil. Only broken up by Nailz. Butch Reed with a set-out pile driver on Luchasaurus. The natural Butch Reed left pile driver. Tenru sitting in the corner by Ciampa. Evil. Tenru in the corner. And now Tenru chops on Luchasaurus. Forearm by Ciampa to Reed. Now Reed goes for the cover on Finlay, but he doesn't have a viable shot at that at all. They're just pestering Ciampa with Evil. Now Finlay has grabbed the kendo stick. He'll be accosted by Nailz and will lose it. Falls to the ground. Evil strikes in a spinning strike to take down Ciampa. A spinning elbow or forearm delivered. A backdrop. Nailz on Reed. There's a go for a sleep, like a neck break move attempted there. And on 2 count, Tenru. And then Zugiri on the mark on Ciampa. Still at a loss as to how somebody could be critical and then just get back up and keep going, but perhaps Luchasaurus is immune somehow. I think some clever dinosaur thing to say, but no luck with that. Reed goes for a cover on Nailz, and it's a 1 count only. Kendo stick being swung around like it's 1996 CCW. Body slam by Nailz on Evil. Strike exchange, Finlay and Tenru. Midway through the match, finally type in the chat who I'm playing against. I'm against Evil. In all caps. I'm not a huge fan of the trend of wrestlers writing their names, especially Japanese wrestlers writing their name in all caps. In certain cases, though, it makes sense. I'm good with it. Like Evil. I know if I say it in all caps, they mean evil as far as the wrestler, not like the force or the power of evil, you know? Like, and with Kenta in all caps. I know you're talking about Kenta Kobashi. And your name, like, Kenta's real name is Kenta Kobayashi. So it's very close. And he had to differentiate while still being influenced and a big fan of Kobashi. I mentioned this on here before, but if you get the chance and you haven't seen it yet, it's worth going to New Japan's free YouTube channel and look at some of the promos that Kenta cut backstage during the World Tag League. Incredibly creative, really, really well done. Everything big, truly from a match setup storyline standpoint, but it was entertaining. Sidewalk slam by Evil. We got a pinfall. A disrespectful pin attempt, only a 1 count. Nailz rolls out of it, so it is Luchasaurus trying to eliminate him. It had to be him who was critical. It had to be Luchasaurus. Tenru puts Finlay on the top rope with Finlay's back elbow. Jumps down to safety. He's blown up. Tenru thrown to the floor. Evil goes to the outside to give chase. Evil, Cyto suplex on Tenru on that hardwood floor and on the padding. Body slam. Evil now choking out. Tenru 2.9 inside the ring. A near fall. Finlay. Butch Reed reaches to this near corner. Ciampa follows. On the far side, you got Finlay and a dazed Nailz. This right side outside the ring. Evil, blunt playing gas against the legendary Tenru. Evil blocks a suplex attempt to hit with one of his own. Throwing Tenru again to that hard floor outside the ring. No disqualifications, no countouts. There's a long blower type move there from Ciampa on Reed. Butch Reed gets body slam. Enzugiri outside the ring by Tenru on Evil. Inside, it's Finlay. Tenru grabs that he likes to. That's why Rival likes to say, look, try to at least. He's trying to pick up the kendo stick and knock down Finlay as a result. Kendo shots for everybody. The thrust kick connected, but then there's Finlay right behind Tenru. Outside the ring, it's Reed and Ciampa battling it out. Backslide on Finlay. Evil rolls out at one. Finlay throws Evil to the outside. Loud landing, rough one from Evil. From out of the ring, he's thrown back into the ring. Cut force there from Evil. And a big lariat on Finlay by Evil and a cover. 3 count. Finlay has been eliminated. We're down to 5. Evil, Tenru, Butch Reed, Nailz, and Tommaso Ciampa. This is the kendo stick swing, and then Ciampa connects with a strike. Problem with a match like this, still having 5 individuals in competition, you can't turn your back on anybody for too long as they come roaring back at you. Hey, Nailz, look out. Oh, there we go. Better to talk trash after you hit the light tube to the head. Nailz out of it, understandably so. Clothesline by Evil on the cover. 2.9. Reed poses, and rightly so, for that showing of strength, that military press on Ciampa. Off the mark on that, into running shoulder block that Reed was aiming for. Clothesline on Reed by Evil. A cover. There are no rope breaks. And I assure you, it makes for a more enjoyable viewing experience, playing experience as well, for these types of matches in particular, to have no rope breaks. It's tough enough to get a clean fall attempt as it is. Other wrestlers in there potentially break up the attempt. Long strike exchange by Ciampa and Evil. A discus elbow by Evil gets the better of Ciampa. Tenru grabs that kendo stick. Evil moves away. Nailz didn't seem to come at all the lariat. Pin attempt by Evil. Nailz kicks out at 2. Tenru kicks out at 2. And then one blower type move, double knees to the back as it's a powerbomb setup. You can see Tenru was rocked. Rocked by that clothesline. Butch Reed just kicks Evil right in the face. Tricky there for Evil, having Butch Reed and Tenru flanking him on either side of the ropes. And there's Ciampa to save the day with a kendo stick. Knee lifts. And the Nailz. And a submission. Armbar type submission move there by Ciampa. Gets a submission. Tap out from Nailz. Evil looks on the right knee with the natural Butch Reed. Tenru pushing out of it. Ciampa gasping for air for more than 24 minutes into this match. Strikes being thrown out there. And another submission. Tenru submits. And Ciampa, that's an insult to injury. He will. A release German suplex. Punch to the face and uppercut there by Butch Reed. Yeah, Timmy really is gone. I'm going to make sure. And look at this. Reed has submitted. So it's down to Evil and Tommaso Ciampa. Ciampa, back-to-back-to-back eliminations in quick order. That submission move. Arm walk. Not the strongest looking clothesline I've ever seen from Evil, but it worked. Trying to roll Ciampa out of the ring, but uncooperative, so I'll just throw him out. Would dive to the outside, but a double axe handle from the apron to the floor works for Evil. Evil. Yeah. I see. Sledgehammer. But Ciampa somehow found under the ring. No disqualifications. An unimpressive looking diving clothesline by Evil. Evil again. Sending Ciampa to the outside. And the thud. The sickening thud of the sledgehammer hitting flesh. Pinned now by Evil. That'll do it. Evil. It's cool to hear Evil's real theme song. I think that's close to it. Thank you. Thanks. Well, it was that's kind of an odd mix of wrestlers in there, but that's part of the fun of this sometimes. There's this remarkable exchange by like one of the boxers I put in there with Yuji Nagata. And I would not expect it to happen. Your winner in this one, Evil. It was, Thomas Hitman Hearns. He had this like long back and forth battle with Yuji Nagata. All right, so that's going to be it for this feed for tonight as I drop my controller. I wasn't trying to start another match. Try to set the thing down. It decides to go into business for itself. So that's it. Yeah, hopefully I'll see you again sometime soon, Mr. Sawcom. I've kind of picked some obscure times to try these out. Middle of the night, Nashville Central Daylight Time. Saturday morning I did one like morning. But with this, it's going to be every now and then type thing. It's fun though. It's fun to get in here and just chat with people, talk wrestling, or just call the matches if nobody's in the mood to chat. So that's it for episode 7. Of Lou Pickney Plays Fire Pro Wrestling World. This will be ready for immediate viewing again if you're so inclined on Twitch, and I'll have a version up later on YouTube as well. I do it to ensure that there's an HD version, 720p, 60 frames per second. Because otherwise you're dealing with something that's uploaded, and inevitably that quality is not going to hold for the duration in all likelihood. I've got 300 internet, fast internet, but that's not necessarily going to be the beginning of the end of it as far as getting what you want from a quality standpoint. That's it for episode 7. See you next time, episode 8 of Lou Plays Fire Pro Wrestling World. See you then.